Okay, Lana Del Rey and video games. Yes, there are some similarities to the Greek song, but calling Lana Del Rey a rip-off artist and uncreative is just plain stupid. Prove the intent. Plagiarism is all about intent, and the likelihood of her even knowing about that obscure Greek song is extremely low. We're going to be hearing more and more cases like this. Rock has been around for a long time now, and most of the best riffs have been taken. Independent discoveries of the same great songs are going to be made by different people at different times in different places. Does that automatically mean that somebody is a thief? Absolutely not. But does it mean that we're running out of ways to write songs? Maybe. Coming up in a second, 3 songs made famous by people other than the person who wrote it. You may be surprised. Hold tight.
More of The Secret History of Rock coming up. Back to The Secret History of Rock with Alan Cross.
It's very common for an artist to cover someone else's work, and usually we recognize that a band is playing a song written by another person. But there are those rare occasions where the cover becomes much more famous than the original, and it comes as a shock when we find out that the songs that we thought were by our band were actually the property of another. And I want to play you 3 examples of where the cover is more famous than the original. We'll start with REM. In the early days, everybody in the band was a big fan of record stores. In fact, that's where Peter Buck first met Michael Stipe. Buck was working in a place called Wuxtry Records in Athens, Georgia. Somewhere along the line, somebody in the band found an old 7-inch single at a flea market by this super obscure Texas band called The Clique. The A side of the single was Sugar on Sunday, which was a cover of a Tommy James and the Shondells song. On the B side was an original. Everybody in the band loved the song except Michael Stipe. He thought it was trash. But then bass player Mike Mills said, fine, I like it, I'll sing it. So he did. REM made 2 recordings of the song. The first was in 1981, which appeared as the B-side of a single that was only released in the UK. Then it was recorded again in January of 1984. It was supposed to end up on Reckoning, which is the band's second album, but it never made the cut. The song just kind of sat there until 1986 when REM made their 4th album, Life's Rich Pageant. With room left on the record, they just stuck the song at the very end. The label really liked the song, and they decided to release it as a single, and it became something of a rock radio hit. Imagine the surprise of Gary Zeckley and Michael Bottler, the 2 guys who wrote the song, when they suddenly started getting royalty checks in the mail.